I'm Carol Podgorski. I am a marriage and family therapist at the Institute for the Family at the University of Rochester Medical Center, and I'm also a faculty clinician at Strong Family Therapy Services. We all know that holiday times are very stressful, and there are a lot of things that people need to do, and the busyness of the holidays in and of itself is stressful enough. But grieving adds another whole layer of stress. What we do a lot of times is put on our holiday face and go through the motions and do all of the baking and shopping and wrapping, then realize that we don't quite feel right and that it's exhausting. It's because we often put on that holiday face. Some people wonder whether they should force themselves to be social during the holidays or whether it's okay to be selfish. I think that the answer is different depending on what kind of person you are. If you're an extrovert and draw energy from other people, then being around other people would probably be the best thing for you to do. Whereas if you're introverted, it might take all of the energy that you have to be able to do that. Sometimes the holiday is so closely connected with the person that we lost that it's difficult to separate the two. But I do think that we also have an opportunity to consider and reconsider traditions. And what I mean by that is think about the meaning of the holiday, and the certain bread or cookie might have been important to the person who's no longer with us, but is it also important to you? If it is, I think it's a great time to embrace that tradition. It's also a very nice way to remember the lost loved one. I've heard people say that sometimes the anticipation of a holiday is worse than the actual holiday itself. And some people actually find themselves laughing and enjoying the holiday and then feeling guilty about that. And what I say is, what would your lost loved one want you to do? And I think that a lot of times the person that you're grieving would be smiling that you were actually having a good time and enjoying yourself. Sometimes people say that the holidays are difficult year after year, and they may have lost a loved one years ago and still struggle with it. But for most people, they say that the holidays do get easier over time. And I think what helps with that transition is the closer you are to the loss of the loved one, the more the holiday is about that person. As you move away from that loss, you sometimes feel that the holidays are really about the people who are still there. I think one of the hardest things about the holidays as a friend is knowing when to step in and help someone who's grieving or when to just leave them alone and give them space. And I always suggest to people that they err on the side of being a pest. I think it's good to be a pest. I think that it's very difficult for people who are grieving to ask for help, mostly because I think it's very difficult for them to know what they can ask for help with. But friends can be great distractions. It's great to ask somebody to go shopping or to go for a cup of tea or go for a drink and do something different. What friends can also do is offer the person who's grieving a chance to take off the holiday face and to just be themselves and to be sad if they're sad, to talk about what they miss about the holidays, to talk about what their fears are about the holidays. And what friends can do maybe is help them develop a plan for thinking about ways that they can avoid or prevent the thing that they fear the most.